Hi, so in January 2020, I was looking after my father's house whilst he was away in Crete. This is January 2020. Now, I found this document in his house, which is the coroner's witness statement written and signed by my father. When I found this document, I also found this document, and this document is a letter from Lindsey Ainsworth, the coroner's assistant from the coroner's office, and it was sent to my father on the 31st of May 2018. And it is about amending the coroner's witness statement. And this document is the coroner's witness statement written and signed by my father to Lindsey Ainsworth's exact constructions. And he's signed his name by the X's, which is what Lindsey's put on there. And it's about amending the coroner's witness statement. Now, when I found this document, I knew that it was incorrect, that the dates on it were wrong. Now, I knew that because I was there on the day that my father had called me and said that Mum had had a fall, could I go and help? Which was the 21st of May 2018, not the 14th. On the 22nd of May, it's my birthday, and my father told me that Mum was having an operation. On the 21st of May, my dad drove my mum to the hospital in this VW Passat estate car, a gold VW Passat estate car. On the 22nd, I was told that Mum was having an operation, though I wasn't told what the operation was about. On the afternoon of the 22nd, on the 21st, my dad drove my mum to the hospital and I followed over after them. Mum had walked down some steps down the path to the car, got in the car herself, she unaided. She was smiling, she didn't limp or anything, there was nothing at all wrong with her. In the hospital, she said, "Cora, I hope I don't turn out like this a lot in here." But on the following day, she looked just like all the people in there. She told me she'd hurt her ankle and her shin. And yet this document says that she had an operation on the 15th of May, and that she didn't. The X-rays for the 14th and the 15th of May 2018, there's 6 X-rays on 2 different days. They all have Mum's date of birth correct, but they've got her age, 83, incorrect. I've shown you on other parts that in 2016, Mum had CT scans when she was 83 in 2016. 29th of the 3rd, 1933 is her date of birth. And on the CT scans, it's got the right date of birth and it's got the right age for the year 2018. 6 X-rays, 2 different days. One day is the 14th, one day is the 15th of May 2018. Both lots have got Mum's date of birth correct, but I got her age as 83 still, and she was 85. Now, Mum was identified by Lindsey Ainsworth. Now, bear with me a minute. Lindsey Ainsworth, the one that wrote my dad that amendment letter on the 31st of May. Lindsey Ainsworth, see at the bottom there, she wrote to Mum's GP, Dr. Hadfield. She sent the letter on the 28th of May 2018, but in the letter it states that Mum died on the 23rd of May 2018. Now, I've blown that letter up a bit for you just so that you can see that date, 23rd of May 2018. There we go, 23rd of May 2018. Now, Lindsey Ainsworth also identified my mum on the 24th of May 2018, and it's in the mortuary witness statement, which is this document here. And so she identified her on the 24th of May 2018, the day that I saw and said goodbye to my dead mum in the hospital. I actually went in, I had a phone call from my father to go and say your goodbyes to your mum, and I drove from Sidmouth to Exeter, and I got there at 4:15, and I said goodbye to my dead mum. She was definitely dead. She looked really angry. Her eyes were open, her hands were really clawed, and I hugged my mum and held her, and she was frozen solid. It was just horrible. It was just the most awful thing. But she'd gone in telling me she'd hurt her ankle and her shin. She died from there it says the 23rd, but she was identified the 24th, and that was the day that I saw her dead. As I left the room where Mum's body was, I bumped into Jo, who was the site manager of the Royal Devon and Exeter Hospital in 2018, and I stopped and spoke to her, and then later on she kindly sent me this message to say how sorry she was to see me in the hospital earlier on the 24th of May 2018. Now, when I found this document, which is the coroner's witness statement, I took it to see my brother. My father was away on holiday, so I took it to see my brother, and the first thing he said to me was, I did nothing wrong, all I did was write the records. I didn't do anything wrong, all I did was write the records. It was Dad. Now, from there, because that was such a strange thing for my brother to say, I ordered the hospital records, all the hospital records, the GP records, all that sort of thing. And they started coming through in June of 2020. Now, before I jump forward, I'm just going to show you this. On the mortuary witness statement that's written and signed by Lindsey Ainsworth, the whole paperwork is written and signed by Lindsey Ainsworth. You can tell by the R's in Laith, Maktar, Doctor, all of it's written by Lindsey Ainsworth. Now, you can see there's Dr. Laith Al Maktar has also signed that document on the 24th of May 2018. Now, there's two TEP escalation forms. Both of them have Dr. Laith's name on and his signature. You've got his number there, GMC number. But there's two documents. Now, this one is about, it says that my father said that it wouldn't be right that she was resuscitated, which is just disgusting, seeing as she'd gone in on the 21st complaining of hurting her ankle and she died on the 23rd, 24th. It's got the 24th on there, the date of the 24th, and it's the same date as on this record, and it's the same name, Dr. Laith Al Maktar. His name's there, but he's also on this document, and this document's also got the 24th on, same doctor, same name, same number, everything is the same. But I would suggest that this record has been written over the top afterwards, because Mum wasn't there on the 14th or the 15th of May 2018, but she was there on the 21st to the 24th, but it's also got the same doctor's thing on it. I'm just pointing these facts on before I jump forwards anymore. Hang on. Now, on the 24th of May 2018, the day that I saw and said goodbye to my dead mum, her records were sent to Wanford House Hospital as well. It's on this document here. Patient summary sent to Wanford House Hospital on the 24th. I'm just pointing that one fact out. Now, this is the first page of the GP surgery records, and on it, it says that my mum's address there is that, and that the postcode is EX108FF, and that's the 22nd of December 2011. But in 2011, Mum's postcode was EX108HE. It had been until 2016, when my father re-signed or re-registered all Mum's properties into his own sole name, changing that postcode to EX108FF from EX108DD. Now, that says December 2011, and on this document, which is in the in the GP records, page 62, that was page 1, this is page 62, and if that record had been copied and not typed, then it would have the right postcode for the year, because that's what happens when you copy things. When you retype them, that's when mistakes are made or added. Now, Mum's postcode for 2011, there's a date there, 11th of August 2011, and her postcode was EX108HE, as I suggested. Now, when I grew up in the house, it was EX108HE from when I was little, from when I was born, right until I left home. And as I say, they've got the wrong postcode for the first page of the GP practice records for that date. 2011, it was EX108HE. It wasn't changed to EX108FF until 2016. Now, also on that, I'm just going to come back to this. So Dr. Hadfield, she must have known about all of this, because she had to release the records to me when I asked for the records. Let me just see, I'm sure I've got another document, bear with me. Okay, so here, on this bit here, this was added by, that's Dr. Hadfield, it's got there. You can ring my phone number, it's the old one, it doesn't work anymore, because I haven't got it anymore. But here, son is questioning capacity to sign her will in 2017. Now, I rang Dr. Hadfield and I asked her whether she thought Mum could sign a will, and I wrote a letter to her, and I went in and saw her in person, and she just kept lying to me. So Dr. Hadfield isn't my doctor anymore. I have a different doctor, though I don't actually go to the doctors, because if they'd done this to my mum, what do you think they might do anyway? Right, so let's get off that subject. So the letter that I wrote to Dr. Hadfield is here. So let me just see, where is it? Oh, there we go. Firstly, can I address your concerns? Just need to be able to brighten this up a bit for you. I don't know whether you can zoom in. It's kind of hard to zoom it in myself. I want to address the concerns. It's not... Hang on, bear with me. Okay. Firstly, can I address your concerns about your mother's ability to sign her will? I'm afraid I'm not... Bear with me. So it says, I'm afraid I'm not obliged to give the view of whether your mum could write anything down, because I never saw her write anything down, and I never received anything signed by my mum, which again is a lie. She told me this in person, she told me on the phone, and she put it in writing for me about in 2017, which was the question I'd asked Dr. Hadfield. Now, the reason that I know that this was a little fib was because that's my mum's signature at the end of this letter in 2011. It's the same document that I've just shown you, as i.e. the first page where they've got mum's postcode wrong for 2011, and this is August 2011, and they got the postcode wrong, and that's my mum's signature. Now my Dr. Hadfield had to release this paperwork to me, and that's got it on. So she's asked me, I've asked her about mum being able to sign her will in 2017. She said she'd never saw her write anything down or received anything written from her or signed by my mum, and yet there's a document there that is signed by my mum. Now on here, this is Susan Hailstone. Oh, hang on a minute, let's come back to that. So on the 11th of June 2018, Susan Hailstone entered the incorrect date of death. And she put that mum died on the 28th of May 2018. And as we've gone through that other document, Lindsey Ainsworth saw my mum in the hospital dead on the 23rd of May 2018. She identified her along with Dr. Laith Al-Maktar on the 24th of May 2018. That's the other letter from... but it was sent on the 28th. Now, Susan Hailstone entered the date of death on the 11th of June incorrectly, but she put exact date of death, and it's there, 11th of June, and she's entered it incorrectly. And at the bottom here, it says on the 18th of June that son was requesting mum's GP records and querying the date of admission to the hospital and the date that she passed away. And that was on the 18th of June, and that's Susan Hailstone. Now, Susan Hailstone typed all of these records. Susan Hailstone filled it in wrong, and she typed these records on the 24th of June 2020. There you go, Susan Hailstone. This is page 32. The numbers are at the top of the page of each one. That Susan Hailstone admits to typing it. It's got it written there, and it's got the same time as it is on every single page. 24th of June 2020, 9:41. Now, on the 24th of June 2021, this is Susan Hailstone here, and she turned up for an anniversary party. Susan Hailstone turned up for an anniversary party with two other ladies in a car, apps for NHS. In a car, AP5 for NHS, which is this one here, and it's a white VW or Golf. It's not the best picture, I've got a better one somewhere, but she turned up in this white car to have an anniversary party with Mike and Sally, the people who told me that they had written the hospital records. They'd done nothing else wrong, but they'd written the hospital records. And these three ladies turned up a year to the day from when Susan Hailstone had written the records. She wrote them on the 24th of June 2020. She had the anniversary party, that's Susan Hailstone there. She had the anniversary party on the 24th of June 2021 with Mike and Sally. That's Sally there. We'll come to who she's hugging later on, but that's Susan Hailstone. the same lady who wrote the records a year to the day from when she came and had an anniversary party. Now you might say to me, how can we prove that it was that date that she came? Well, in 2021, my family took me to court to do me for something, and I was sent this document from their solicitors. It wasn't used in the actual court case, but it was sent to me, and it's got Sally's signature, and she admits that my friends came to see me at work on the 24th of June 2021. They parked their car in our yard outside the back of the shop, which is I live above. Ian took a video of us saying goodbye. I took pictures of them saying goodbye and published these pictures, these photos on Facebook, which I did. I put the question, if you remember back, if you're my friends and you remember back to 2020 when I found out about this and I put those pictures on, you'll see in there, I mean, if you look on my other account, on my other Facebook account, I've got two because of the fact that I can't use the other one. It was hacked so much, apparently by my family again. Well, not apparently, but it was. I was told by a forensic team that the people that were hacking me were within the building that I live in. Well, I live above the shop. Anyway, Sally admits that her friends came, and she said that she thought it was... the registration plate is AP5 for NHS, and Sally was saying that her and her friends thought it was weird that I thought there was a conspiracy between her friends and Sally about the day, about the car registration plate being AP5 for NHS. Now Sally says that the registration plate AP5 for NHS, it's her friend, the driver, which is that blonde lady there, it's her friend's initials, that her initials are NHS, but she's called Julie Dent, so that her initials are not NHS. She's the driver of the car. She's also the head of the Royal Devon and Exeter Hospital, head chair. We'll come to those other ladies later. But this is Sally's admission that her friends came and visited her on the 24th of June 2021, when the GP records were last typed on the 24th of June 2020 by Susan Hailstone, and Susan Hailstone just happens to be that lady there. Who is that lady there? That lady there is Susan Hailstone. This is the same lady. She's the GP admin. She's having an anniversary party a year to the day from when she wrote the records, and Sally admits to it. That's the car, AP5 for NHS. I'm just pointing those facts out. Sally and Mike told me that, or Mike told me that he only wrote the records, he didn't do anything else wrong. It was Dad. Sally had an anniversary party. They both had an anniversary party a year to the day from when the GP records were last typed by Susan Hailstone. And that lady there is Susan Hailstone. When I put the pictures on Facebook, I put the question, who are these three ladies? And at the time I didn't know in 2020, and by 2023 I did know who they were, because people had rung and told me, and people rang from the Royal Devon and Exeter Hospital ex-doctors, retired doctors and nurses, and they told me who she was. They told me friends in town said they went to school with that lady's daughters. So they all told me who they were, and it took quite a while to find out who this other lady was, but people did, and they rang. My brother and sister-in-law have a yacht at Brixton Marina, and as does this lady and her family. Like I said, we'll come to that later. This is about what happened to my mum, the fact that the hospital records, GP records, were typed by Susan Hailstone on the 24th of June 2020, and she had an anniversary party with Mike and Sally, the people who said that they only wrote the records and did nothing else wrong. But she had an anniversary a year to the day, as it states by Sally, who signed this to a court of law. She states that her friends came on the 24th of June 2021 and had an anniversary party. And she states that she thought that I thought it was a conspiracy. I did think it was a conspiracy, but I didn't know who the people were at the time. The reason that I thought it was a conspiracy was because the car was AP5 for NHS, and I knew that the records had been typed on the 24th of June 2020. It wasn't just the car registration plate, but that is quite obvious to me. And then when she admits to it, Sally admits to it, that's what kind of gave it away. Thank you for watching.